time it is, everyone. So, I was consulting with my partner here before we were live. I said, Toad, what should we do with regards to this first weapon pickup? Should we throw a few resets at it and see if we can't get the dagger, or should we just roll with whatever we get? And after a brief chat, we both agreed that we're just gonna see what happens. We're gonna try to get the dagger, of course, but we are going to roll with it. If we get a bow, we gotta be believers. If we get the torch ain't so bad, at least until stage 3. Although it's been a while, I've been doing pretty heavy PB attempts and not so many no reset attempts, so I'm a little rusty on both the torch and obviously the bow, because the bow is a pretty rusty weapon. But we're gonna see what happens with Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Now, I am playing the Japanese version here to save 22 seconds of time that I'm going to waste right now explaining this to you. But we're going to save 22 seconds on the loop transition by playing in the Japanese version. And without further ado, let's make our way towards that. So here we go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah!
I'm actually keeping a timer for this. I'm not really sure why. I guess I just...
Have it.
I guess. The splits were up. Alright, here we go. Trying to get a dagger here, folks. I failed. Unless we get really lucky. No, we got the torch. Okay. So I shot... There's a nice setup to try to get the dagger, but it's not foolproof. So the way that the weapons drops work out of the chest is every 2 frames it cycles a different weapon that can pop out of the chest. Oh, no, get out of there! Great! Off to a good start! And we got a scythe! This run is amazing! Nah, it's fine. Now, see, if I was smart, I would take a death here, and we just pretend that none of this ever happened. We get another crack at the dagger. But the hell with that. We're gonna keep it rolling.
Let's hear it for the scythe.
Not a lot of people know that there's a scythe in the first stage, but I just wanted to show that off for you people, because I love you so much.
What is its main ability? Why is it...
What is its main ability? Making you angry?
Other than sucking, yeah. That's other than sucking.
It has decent magic, actually, but we're a long way from having magic right now, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Alright, so we are using the safest of strats right now, both between being naked and having the scythe. I hope that's not chest 4 right there. So, the way the chests work in this game is really confusing if you are not familiar with the game. Because you go to get chests, you're like, oh yay, I lost armor, but there's a chest, I'll go get it. And then a magician pops out and kills you. So good, that was chest 4. But depending on what your armor level is and what number chest you have seen in the stage, different stuff will pop out. So we just got chest 4, that was chest 5. Now chest 6 will have upgraded scythe. We're not going to bother with chest 6 because chest 6 is a troll chest, because more enemies spawn on top of it when you try to go get it, and we don't want to mess with that. The problem with the scythe is that you can only have, well, one of the problems with the scythe is that you can only have 1 out at a time. That's the main problem with it, I would say. So it does 2 damage when it hits, but it's not a dagger. And I like the dagger, where I can shoot 3 of them in less than half a second, and just murder everything. Like, this boss would be mega dead by now if I had my armor and my daggers, but we don't. We have a scythe. We're having fun. It's gonna shoot an egg at me. We're gonna play this super safe and deal with the mini-wing right as soon as it spawns. Marathon runs. Ain't nothing like them. Alright. Cool. We're only 50 seconds behind on our first split. That's awesome. That's... I don't want to surprise anyone, but I would have reset if that was a PB attempt.
Well, this is scythe percent.
Okay, we're gonna get the javelin here. That's where we're at now. We're picking up javelins.
Yay, default weapons.
All right, we're gonna get this armor too, because I feel like the way this is going, this game is telling me don't go for the armor boost strats. Don't do that. We're trying to let you know that this is not the run for that. There's this sweet move that you can do where you do a D-boost up here off of a mimic, and then you have to spawn chests out of order and stuff. But we're gonna try to do a sub-pixel jump to get up there rather than doing a D-boost. Didn't happen. That costs us a little bit of time, but we have armor still. And the nice thing about having armor is that it's, we have armor upgrade, and eventually, before too long here, we're gonna be able to get our magic. We have spawned 2 chests so far. Chest number 3 will be our gold armor, and chest number 4, which are both of which are coming up very shortly, will be our armor and shield. And the blue shield gives us the ability to block 3 small projectiles before it breaks, and also charges our magic faster, which is really the better use of it, charging magic faster. Now in a proper run of this, we kind of want to lose our shield for the most part after this stage, but with marathon considerations, we're not getting too crazy. So there's our gold armor. Now we have this magic meter. Between that and the extra elements on screen with the shield and the helmet and the whatchamacallit. Oh, hey, our buddy Scythe is back. We're gonna, actually, I want to pick that up.
Gonna see some Scythe magic?
So it's not that we want the Scythe, it's that we want to get as many weapon drops in this stage as possible. Because we want to try to get a dagger. We want to get our buddy the dagger here. And if you let a weapon drop like that, so there are 2 types of weapon drops that exist in this game. There are the weapon drops that come out of chests, and there are weapon drops that come out of enemies. So like every 3rd enemy drop, basically, that's not exactly right, but for our purposes, we'll just say every 3rd enemy drop can be a weapon. But if you leave a weapon on the stage and don't pick it up, then the enemies stop dropping weapons. They're like, oh, fine, you're gonna take us for granted, forget you, buddy. They're really sassy like that, it's crazy. So I didn't want to look a gift horse in the mouth. Scythe isn't the worst weapon in the game. That'd be the Tri-Blade. The axe is a full second. So we're gonna roll with this Scythe for a minute, slow down and all, and try to get another weapon here. I hope that wasn't a weapon drop right there. That was probably a weapon drop, which means so we have one other chest that can drop a weapon. We're gonna hope like hell it's got an axe. This weapon is not so bad with the gold armor for the boss. It's actually kind of good. I say it's probably like the 3rd best weapon, 3rd or 4th. Maybe this or the what do you call it, the javelin. This is a that's a weapon. I'm gonna take the javelin not for this stage, but for the next stage. And then this is a bear trap, I think. So we've missed the weapon drop, I think. We might have a chance to get another weapon drop at the very end of the stage. And if we do, and if it's a dagger, we will be very happy. Because right now, we can't get a quick kill on this boss. We can do what we can, and the magic does alright, but this magic shoots a laser, or not a laser, a lightning bolt, from our head and from our sides, out in both directions. Is this gonna be a weapon? No. Yeah, we're not getting a weapon drop, folks. We're out of weapons. We're sticking with the javelin for the moment. And that's the last
Why is
enemy.
the Tri-Blade so bad?
Well, the Tri-Blade goes up, and then it goes out, and then it comes back and goes out the other direction. So it's like it doesn't travel in a very obvious pattern. So you basically want enemies to be up and to the right of you if you want to hit them with it reliably. And they're not always that. They're usually in front of you, attacking aggressively at you. So, yeah. I get a little bit of magic there. Try to get some other magic going. Let me come down. Oh, there we go. Okay. 3 magics, a couple extra hits. We put down the Storm Ciceris. And we lost 19 seconds to all that madness. Good lord. Okay. Hope y'all are having fun. This is really silly, but a good time. Okay. So, the problem here is that with this javelin, we only can fire one at a time when it's upgraded. Which is a problem because these imps like to sometimes rush at you with great speed and furious anger. Torch, huh? No, I'm gonna stick with the javelin because the torch is actually pretty good for the imps, but it really stinks for these blues. That's chest 3. We're not gonna mess around with chest 3 here. We're just gonna stick with the javelin. The javelin, in some ways, is like a slower dagger, but the upgraded javelin is like is not anymore. The regular javelin is like a slow dagger because you can have 2 on screen, and it does probably a little bit more damage, if I had to guess. We're gonna see what this imp does. If you face... Oh man. Oh boy. Great. Nice job. Okay, so now we're naked. That was a fun pattern to deal with. We had a couple of different fires that meant to do us great harm and did. So we're going to try to make it to the checkpoint. If we don't, at least we'll have a quick opportunity to get extra armor. Do a platform skip here. The nice thing about being naked here is Arthur's not cold because we're in the middle of a lava flow. But that's pretty much the only good thing that's going on right now. Alright, be cool, Red Armor. Be cool, buddy. Alright, he was cool. And we got the checkpoint. So we take a quick little death there and beat it to the checkpoint. And that'll give us our armor back, and now we can go upgrade our armor. But hopefully we're gonna get a good weapon out of this first chest right here.
Bomb dagger.
Chest? There we go. Torch.
Look.
I'm gonna say no to the torch right now. So the other interesting thing about drops in this stage, with those enemy drops, it seems like each of the pillars operates as a completely different checkpoint almost, such that if you get a weapon drop on one pillar, normally the way it works is if you get to a checkpoint, then it'll reset the weapon drops from enemies, so you can start getting them again. But you can get weapon drops on each of these pillars individually. It doesn't matter if you've seen one already after the checkpoint. What do we got here? That's a point thing. And get this gold armor here. So, yay, we have gold armor. Axe. Let me ask you a question. Why would you even bother with that weapon? So we gotta make some move right now because we have very little fire, or we have very slow firepower. So we have to be very cautious with these bats because if one spawns in front of us, we don't necessarily have the ability to get rid of it. Because we can only have one projectile on screen at a time. That's bad news.
Is their spawn points just random?
The bats? Yeah.
Yeah. Frickin'.
Yeah, so you can despawn bats, but it's very rare that you do that. I feel like there's a master bat very similar to Zelda, but I don't know what the rhyme or reason is behind what causes that. They don't just disappear like they do in Zelda, but they will stop spawning at a certain point. It's gonna be a weapon. Ooh, that's a good weapon! That's a good one! Alright. Okay, so this is the Moblin Waterfall here. They just... Oh, there's a bow right there, too. Just to troll me. Alright, so we're in good shape now. We went through a lot of struggles to get to this dagger, but now we're gonna put it to work right away. So, coming up here, this is Death Crawler. Stage 3 boss. Say hi! Okay, I think I might have screwed up a little bit. We'll see. Okay, that's fine. Now say bye. It's gone. Even by messing up the quick kill, we still put it down really quickly.
Stuff.
Alright, and we can all breathe a sigh of relief because we have a real weapon. But we are now in the middle of what I call the Troll Gauntlet. Stages 3, 4, and 5 in this game are really nasty with trolling. Or at least they can be. They're not always, which kind of makes them worse. If they were always trolly, then you'd be a little bit more on point. But sometimes the game can feel like, oh, it's cooperating, and then boom, you're dead. But this stage likes to spawn a bunch of axe armors on top of you, which are the blue guys with axes. They don't really even have armor, but I heard them called that once, and I said, you know what? That's good enough for me. In the absence of a different name to call them, I'll just call them axe armors. Okay, so we got a couple despawns there, because one of those axe armors spawned. That's great. That saves me from having to kill more of these bone killers.
How does the despawn work?
There can only be so many sprites on screen at one time. So if one enemy spawns and kind of carries over a little bit, then it prevents another one from spawning down the road.
Awesome.
Okay, pray for good luck here. Yeah, okay, that guy spawned high. That was awesome. That big fall that I just did, one of the axe armors can spawn right where you're falling, and you have no recourse. That's it. You just lose your armor and you're done. And usually, if you get to that point, you're not even at chest 4. You're usually at chest 2 if you're just going through the game with armor to that point. So you can't get armor back. Chest 2 when you're naked is a weapon. So, especially if you have a dagger, you don't want a weapon. You're set with that department.
What do chest 4 and 6 turn into when you have gold armor already?
When you have gold armor already, chest... Well, it depends on what shield you have. Do I have to... I didn't have to charge this magic. If you have blue shield, chest 4 and 6... I don't know. I can look it up in a cutscene. I have a cheat sheet for that. Usually I don't have the blue shield anymore, so don't worry about it.
Right.
But probably magicians or traps, because that's really the only other thing. Magicians, traps, and weapons are the only thing that can drop at this point.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to get a shield, we're not going to get other armor. It's just, it's going to be trolls and weapons, which are also trolls at this point. I think most of the armor things turn into weapons when you have blue shield.
That makes sense.
So this is the Hydra. This is the slowest boss fight in the game because the Hydra is made of like 22 different elements, 25 different elements, which is a ton. The game normally does not let you have that much on screen, and we actually saved a second on that stage, believe it or not.
Nice.
So that was a decent kill. All right, last leg of the Troll Gauntlet for Loop 1. Awesome, awesome music in this stage, which belies the horrible, horrible trolling that can happen. So we got these flowers, and we'll see. We did not spawn Bad Luck Flower. This is awesome, guys. There's a flower right up ahead that you have to do a blind jump into. And if he shoots early, he nails your armor, and you're just done. But see, he was sleeping, so we come right over here and just put him down. And the nice thing is, this next flower is sleeping too, so I can just wait, set up on him, charge my magic, and put down both of those flowers all in one shot. So we're good to go. We're loving life. Kill that Woo. The big fuzzy bears are called Woos. And now we get to the ice snakes. So our ideal here is we want to rush through these ice snakes as quickly as possible while avoiding these buzzy bee soldiers that fly around. You might remember them from Ghosts and Goblins. They're kind of one of the first groups of enemies you see in the game. So we want to rush through the ice. Oh boy, oh boy. So the ice snakes do not have a hitbox at first when they spawn, but they develop one pretty quickly. So you don't want to be caught out of position near them too much. Because when their hitbox does spawn, it's a little bit larger than their sprite, which is true of pretty much every hitbox for every enemy in this game. Their sprites, or their hitboxes usually extend past their sprite. Okay, we got a good cooperative Woo here. He backed up and he shot low. So we are in a good position. Now we're at this avalanche part. We jump over this. And as long as you jump properly, you can avoid being knocked back by the avalanches. Which is very important because the avalanches will knock you into these spikes, carry you too far, and then there goes the run. Okay, so now we're coming up on to BL Allison, or Lord Allison, this ice guy. I don't know why he gets rid of his legs. I feel like he'd be more powerful if he had legs. I mean, that's where a lot of your strength derives from, is your base, your legs. Get those quads going. He doesn't have quads anymore. He got rid of them, and now he's dead. What an idiot. He had legs, maybe. Who knows? Maybe he would have been able to dodge that magic. Nope. Shot a dragon at him, now he's dead. Alright, this stage is super quick, especially when you have dragon magic. This magic is very, very OP. By far the best magic in the game. There's no close second.
Dagger gets everything.
Yeah, I mean, the dagger is obscenely OP. I have no idea what there was like. There's like, okay, we're trolling the players with every other weapon in the game. We're gonna make one weapon godly, and it's gonna be the smallest weapon in the game, like just for funs. Okay. So that's it for the stage. Now we just got the boss fight. Astaroth, y'all remember him? Quick kill time. I was a little bit far away from his foot, so I had to inch up, but we're in pretty good shape here. Wow, we saved a boatload of time there. I don't even know how that happened, but I got some questions.
It's a really nice stage.
Thank you. Yeah, that one, if you know what to do, that's a really fast stage. If you're properly equipped and know what to do, you can fly through it. Less than a minute. Which is nice because you're bypassing all these red armors and killing them really quickly. And red armors, of course, are the bane of everyone's existence when you play this game casually. But when you have the strats, man, they go down so easy. When you have the strats and when you have the magic. That's the most important part. So there we go, we used it again, got red armor. We completely talked over the fact that I just, like, breezed on through all of those cockatrice heads and imps like nothing. We just did a bunch of platform skips because that's how we roll in this game. This cockatrice head is mind gaming me a little bit, throwing up a bunch of pumpkins at me. We don't care, we're gonna back off, play it safe, and get up here. It's gonna cost us a few seconds, but what the hell, we've cost ourselves a few seconds with the way this game started. We got to see a scythe in this run, are you kidding me? It's ridiculous. Oh, we got the platform skip there, that's nice. That's a pretty free skip, but it's also pretty easy to screw it up if you're not jumping at the right time. Alright, so now we have to fight Astaroth and Nebaroth. So once again, quick kill.
That's a lot of off.
Okay, now we got Neberoth. So Neberoth fires at a different angle than Astaroth. Oh, he's being super cooperative right now. Okay. And that'll do it. See you there, buddy. Alright. So, I have good news. And at the end of stage 1-4, we were plus 1 minute 50 seconds. Now we're plus 59 seconds. So we've cut damn near a minute off of where we're at with this run. So the arrow's pointing up, or down, or whichever direction we want it to be pointing.
Forward.
So, right, exactly. So, so this is Princess Prin, and she's saying, "Hey, so, how you doing, buddy? Thanks so much for trying to come rescue me, but here's the deal. You love the dagger, it's a great weapon. It's not the weapon you can use to beat the final boss. You gotta go back and get my bracelet. See, my bracelet, as it turns out, is the ultimate power in the universe. And I know you wouldn't think that because it's jewelry, but that's how it works. It's a video game. So could you go back through the entire game and pick one up for me? That'd be great." So we're gonna go do that. But we're only gonna get the goddess bracelet for the final stage of the second loop. She talks too much. She never shuts up. I said you talk too much. All right. So hey, stage 1 again. Whoop. Whoopsie daisy. All right.
Start.
So 2-1 is actually a really nasty stage, especially with gold armor, actually, because this stage is glacially slow when you have gold armor. Oh jeez! Oh, make it up there! No, not like that!
Oh boy.
So the good news is we don't have gold armor anymore. I was complaining that it was slow and no longer an issue. Alright, so we have spawned 1 chest. I need to keep track of my chests here because I do want to get armor back, so we don't have to take a death. I don't want to take a death after the checkpoint, but I might do that for safety. I don't know. Well, we'll give it a shot. What the heck? Okay, so we spawned 2 chests now. The next one will be 3, and then 4 will be the exact chest one. So we're good shape. Okay. No! We have to do the whole stage over again. It did a double jump by accident. That is a very rare occurrence, but every once in a while I do a double jump like a moron there. Because I am bad at pressing buttons. Alright. That's alright. I just wanted to show this off again. The game's like, "Oh, you said you shaved a minute off your time, did you? We can fix that." When will we learn never to say anything good about your speed run while it's happening?
It's always worse. Always.
It's ridiculous. Okay, so now we have green armor, which is actually way better than having gold armor here. Believe it or not. I know it seems like, well, you want the more upgraded armor, right? Because that way you can use magic, and you have a shield, and all that stuff. No, no, no. See, when you have gold armor, it's much slower. So, by having green armor, we're saving frames. I mean, not after having died, but at least, you know, going back through here, we're saving some time. And, we'll see what we do on the next stage. I don't... We might do the doo-doo strat. Okay, there we go. I actually killed that clam that time instead of running into it like a moron. We were so close to a checkpoint, too. But here's the checkpoint right here. Now we're at the checkpoint. You'll notice that your time resets to 4 minutes 59 seconds when you hit the checkpoint. That's how you tell.
Oh, that's a neat thing. Huh. Never knew that.
Yeah, it's a subtle thing. Like, normally you're not looking at the timer when you go through the game, because there's a million other things you're looking at. But that is how you know.
It's actually a cool thing to let somebody know they've had a checkpoint.
Yeah, it is nice. Alright, so here's our buddy the cockatrice again. Oh, we got a great kill on him, though. That kill's much slower. Hey, by the way, we gained all that minute back. In case you're wondering. And then some, then a few seconds. Alright.
Pretty awesome.
Do I want to go for the strat? I don't know, this run's been going really questionably. I don't know. I'll decide when I get up to that part. Alright, we got the platform skip there. It's huge. You lose so much time if you don't get that platform skip. And plus all the ghosts start to spawn, and then you hate everything. Nope. I decided not to. So the reason I decided not to, I really wanted to. The problem is, if I were to mess up the armor strat, or God forbid die, and this is a really slow auto-scroller. This auto-scroller takes more than 3.5 minutes. So,
Insane.
we don't want to do that twice. You know, we're behind enough as it is on this run. No, it's not so bad. Like, we're ahead of estimate and everything. But, God, why do I say that aloud? But, we're okay right now, time-wise. But I don't, you know, we just don't want to lose that much more time.
Right,
and dude,
right.
like, this is a super boring stage. It really is.
It's so slow, so dreadfully slow.
The nice thing is that it's a pretty easy stage. He said dooming himself, but you have to pay attention. You have to absolutely always pay attention, because that moment that you start resting on your laurels, the fish set up on you, and they touch you once, and that's it for your armor. And very often you're getting knocked off the platform if that happens. So yeah, you want to avoid all of that. The problem with having armor on this stage is that it creates extra slowdown. See, there you go. I wasn't paying attention to that fish, and he almost got me. Because I'm not paying attention. I'm telling you, pay attention. That's the key on this stage. You have to do anything special, just know where the enemies spawn and pay attention. Don't stop looking at the screen for any reason. Don't try to read chat here. That's always my mistake. I'm like, all right, this is a good time to read chat. I look over, and then a fish eats me. Like, I knew better than that. So I'm not reading chat. I'm staring intently at Arthur.
Hey,
He looks very handsome in gold.
He does. Very stoic, if you will.
So yeah, so he has this shield, which is an element on screen. He has this helmet, which is an element on screen, and that little wavy red part, that's also an element on screen. So there's 3 extra pieces on screen by having gold armor with a shield. So that's extra slowdown. On top of that, as if that weren't bad enough, when you hold down an attack button for more than 1 frame, it starts charging magic. And as that charges, that also causes slowdown. So the gold armor is really a catch-22, very much. Like, you want it in a lot of places because you want to be able to cast that magic. It's so powerful. But that means you have to do extra work to mitigate the slowdown. Which is why, when we do a speedrun of this normally, if you're going for PB attempts, what we'll do is we'll spawn these 2 chests that you just saw out of order, and we'll go from steel armor up to gold armor. So that way we go through most of this stage with steel armor, we reduce a lot of lag potential, and it just saves a lot of time. Also, we get to do a D-boost earlier in the non-auto-scroller portion of this stage, and save about 4 to 6 seconds by doing that. So, yeah, there's a lot of speed tech in this stage, because you can absolutely speed on auto-scrollers. You can. And this is no different. This is just a boring auto-scroller.
But you can still make it faster.
Absolutely,
Which you just explained.
That's the essence of speedrunning. Is making things that don't seem like they're faster.
Exactly. Also, I never noticed the sweet pauldrons he has.
Oh yeah, he's got those elbow pads too. I mean, like that are big old spikes sticking out. They don't do you a damn bit of good if an enemy touches you in them, but they look cool.
It's so stylish.
Also, when you jump, it looks like he's got an empty crotch, like he's got a naked crotch plate when you have this armor. I'll try to show that off at some other time. That was a good time, I forgot about it. But he's got like a blue belt, so when you jump, let's see if I can do that real quick. Yeah, there he goes. Looks like he's showing off his underpants. Which, of course, Arthur is known for. The old underoos.
Nice catch.
Nice catch!
Woo!
We're gonna meme the shit out of that if this gets into HDP. Alright. So stage 3 again, and back to the Troll Gauntlet. This is part 1 of 3. And we're just gonna kill as many of these imps as possible before we have to deal with them properly. Because discretion is the better part of valor when you're talking about a marathon run. And we've already done a lot of extracurriculars throughout this run, I think. We had sight for 3 stages, for goodness sake. Well, for 2 stages. I'm gonna kill this imp before it kills me, thank you. We're gonna bypass this imp. Okay, so... when you beat the game on 1 loop, it actually upgrades the difficulty to the next level higher. So we started on normal, now we're on expert mode. And what happens when you're on expert mode is that enemies can attack a little bit differently. So, like, skulls can fall faster, from those areas. That Woo that we just got past, that big bear that shoots fire, he can shoot his fire a little bit further, which makes jumping past it much more tight timing. Enemies can move faster, some enemies can shoot projectiles more frequently, the steam vents on the next stage can last longer. But the funny thing is, none of these things have to be true. They can act the same way as normal, or they can go faster. So if they all went faster, that'd be a lot easier to deal with. You just know that they're all going to be faster. But by giving you that variable of it could do that, but it doesn't necessarily have to, that's where it becomes tricky. Because it's a pretty subtle difference. You know, it's very easy to not notice that things are moving a little bit faster, or that they're extending a little bit further. But, and then that's where you get into trouble.
Such an RNG fest, man.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to be on your toes. This game, to my mind, speedrunning this game is about seeing as much of this game as it can throw at you. All of the different permutations and knowing what the game can do at any given time, so that you can react to it as best you can. Because, like, it's one thing to learn the tech in this game, like the proper ways to kill stuff and the proper movement to get through a certain part. But if you don't know how a certain part can change, then you're gonna be in real bad shape really quickly if it does change. Thanks. Very, very rarely does everything go the way you want it to in this game, as you just saw there.
Of course.
The modeling waterfall got me a little bit. Okay, so the good news is we can still get a one cycle on this boss. The bad news is we're gonna have to get armor back on the next stage, and we could die here. It's possible. It's possible. Always possible to die in this game.
Oh yeah, it's never say never when it comes to death.
There we go. Easy one cycle before he even shoots. I may or may not have had to deal with that situation once or twice, and that's what I'm talking about. Because if you get there and you only know the quick kill, and then you have to deal with that when you're naked, you're probably gonna freak out a little bit. Oh, jeez. Okay, this guy is mind gamesing me a little bit too. Spawn right underneath my feet. Wow, the double axe armor on top of each other. That's crazy. So our goal here in this stage is to not lose armor and to regain our gold armor. That is what we're trying to do here. Because we want to make sure we have armor for the next stage, and then especially for the stage after that. It is super important to have armor going into stage 6. Because you want to deal with those red armors as easily as possible and as quickly as possible. And there's a deboost that you can do to get past the armors if you don't have your magic, but you still have to get armor in stage 7, so it's not ideal. But, you know, it's good to have that backup. Anyway, so we got through that first part, we got our green armor, we're on chest 2 right now. This next chest is going to be chest 3. That'll be our gold. And I think I'm gonna get the blue shield just for poops and grins, because there's one pattern from not this boss but the next boss where if you don't have blue shield you can't charge your magic fast enough before he gets you. And I've actually seen that happen twice in the past week, so I feel like, you know, third time's the charm. And when else would that happen besides a marathon? So we just got the blue shield there, and it's nice for this part too because with the blue shield, again, you do charge magic faster than if you have the red shield or no shield. If you have no shield, you charge magic very slowly. It becomes almost useless at times.
I didn't know it affected your magic.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you wouldn't think about ever. Like, why would a shield affect magic charging? But that's the game. It's so important to know all of the different nuance in this game, and none of it is obvious when you're playing the game casually. Like, no one knows how the treasure chests work. No one knows about the shields. Most people don't even see the shields when they play this game casually. But
most
yeah,
people don't see themselves out of the first level.
no. I mean, no. They, you know, and then they conclude that the game is garbage because they're bad at it. And then they tell you that the NES library is a bunch of junk. Anyway, so this is a very easy part, but it's got crazy mode 7 and cherry pies and blueberry pies and all sorts of stuff. But you see, look at that steam vent. It's lasting super extra long. When you play on professional mode, those steam vents can last so long that you can't avoid them. You just take a hit.
That's
like
garbage.
Yeah, it just says, see ya. That's the game for you. Basically, the design philosophy of this game is this trolling the player? And if the answer is no, then they troll the player. Like, whatever they can do to make your life worse, that's what they do in this game. Which you'd say, like, that's really obnoxious. Why would they do that? How dare they? And I get that. I understand that thinking. But when you conquer the game, and you do have to conquer the game, you don't just beat the game, you conquer
Nice
it.
catch.
When you conquer this game, I tell you what, there's not many better feelings in any video game than conquering this one. It is, you feel a great sense of accomplishment. Okay, hey, we got double sleeping bad luck flower. That's awesome. We are, for everything else that's going on in this run, at least we have that going for us, which is nice. Now, if I had been smart there, I would have done this in a little bit different way, but this all worked out. You want to sneak a peek at that mid-flower, the one I just killed with the Dragon Magic at first. And if it goes early, then you just want to skip the bad luck flower, the low one, and kill that one with magic and the high one, and just bypass the low one. But I didn't do that. I killed the bad luck flower, and then I just waited and dealt with the middle and the top ones with magic as normal. And now I'm playing this part very safe, because I am silly. It's really not safer to deal with this part safe. Like, it's safer in the sense that, you know, you could not pay attention and run into something bad. But wasting time, you're just asking, or like waiting and being slower, you're just asking for more things to spawn. Which is not only slower because there's more things on screen, but then if, you know, you accidentally get hit by something while you're playing it slow, then obviously you lose something there. So you really want to bull rush through that part as best you can. That's a really hard thing to get used to because there's so much on screen at one time. It's like, wait, you want me to rush through this stuff? And you just gotta get used to it. Alright. So we got rid of the red armor, we got this Wu to cooperate again. So he shoots at a low angle and he backs up, which gives us perfect time to do a platform skip and come up here without really any issue. Okay, and we have the blue shield, so if BL Allison decides to be a jerkbag to us, we are in good shape. Hopefully that won't happen. Hopefully he'll give us a nice easy pattern, body him really easy. Or I can not fire magic and we can just be naked here. So now what we want to do is get as close to him as possible, which seems counterintuitive, but if he attacks us, oh jeez, we gotta go. Okay, so if he attacks us with the claws, it's much easier to avoid them if you're close to him when he starts attacking. Because if you're far away, there's less opportunity for you to move out of the way. There we go. So he only shot us with claws once. So remember how I said you really want armor going into this next stage? Well, we don't have it. So we're going to try to do a deboost strat into a boss kill while naked. Which, none of which is good. These are all bad things that we have to do, but we're going to give it a shot. So what we have to do first is get this red armor to swoop past us to the left. Okay, he's on the left. Step 1 complete. Step 2, get deboosted by this axe armor. Step 2 complete. Step 3 is to despawn these red armors, which we have done now. So there's a checkpoint right here where all of the red armors just ghost. They just go, they fly away. They're possessed away from you. Step 4 is to beat this boss while naked. So that's fun. We're gonna start by getting him to shoot his magic low. At a low angle, so we can stay pretty close to him and put a hurting on him. We want to avoid this laser attack. This is much nicer to do with the dagger than with the goddess bracelet because the goddess bracelet requires you to be somewhat close to the boss in order to attack him. There we go. Alright, no problem. I had to play a little safe, back off quite a bit, take longer time, but yeah, we got through.
You know, for a legendary weapon, the goddess bracelet is a real frustrating thing.
It is really frustrating. Like, it's really great if you know how to use it, but it is super, super, super frustrating when you're learning this game. Because you have... So, the way the goddess bracelet works, the weapon we're about to get, I'm going to come down here and despawn at him, just in case. The way the goddess bracelet works is that if you're up close to something, it'll do 18 damage, which is by far the most damage that a single shot of a weapon will do in this game. So that's great. Like, that's off to a great start. And if you have gold armor, then it will cancel out other projectiles. I mean, it's got some really great qualities to it. The problem is, the further away you are, the less damage it does, and the lower your armor, the shorter range it travels, which means the faster it degrades.
That's so
So,
garbage.
and also, if you don't have gold armor, it won't cancel projectiles. So, it's definitely a weapon with some variability to it, let us say.
Right.
So we're gonna spawn this chest here, which is our blue shield. We don't need the blue shield when we're gonna get the goddess bracelet. That doesn't affect the distance, I don't think. If it does, it's really negligible, so we don't care. Okay, we're getting mind games again, because we're getting pumpkin shots all over the place. Okay, so that cockatrice is gone. Now we gotta get the goddess bracelet. Right there. So there's the fairy, circling, and goddess bracelet. Okay, so now we don't have a magic meter anymore. There's no magic with the goddess bracelet. That's the other part of it. It is just a powerful projectile when used up close, and kind of a garbage projectile when it's far away. So it goes from 18 to 12 to 6 to 3 damage. So, obviously 18 is much greater than 3. So if you have to attack at distance, especially if you're naked, you're losing a ton of time. It's a real bummer. But hopefully we won't have to deal with that. If you duck right at his feet, he will not walk. He'll just stop. This is what we use against him. And we've made quick work of Astaroth. That was an awesome fight. Oh, we got the delay pattern here! This is awesome. We're going to work, baby. See you later, Nebby. Oh, I wanted to do a platform borrow there, but we're not doing it. Okay. So he shoots those Freezy Pops out. He always shoots at the same low angle. Gotta watch his chest, too. You can see like a little blue glow when he's gonna shoot. It's like, oh man. Oh, he crushed him.
Beautiful, man.
Oh my god, we're only plus 9 seconds right now. We shaved so much time off. Yeah, no, well, no, off of my average, but still.
Oh, okay.
Still, my average is 41, so like we're under time here. We're good. So this is Sardius. He gave us a slow pattern to start, and I'm really bad with doing the slow pattern, so I just decided to bail out on it. We're gonna wait for a faster medium pattern. Just a medium. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. Okay. Hopefully we get a 2-cycle. We get a fast pattern here, we can 2-cycle him. We got a medium again.
What happens if you kill him without the bracelet?
You can't.
Oh.
You can't get to him without the bracelet.
Oh.
And time is coming now.
GG, wow.
So that was right around 41:25 thereabouts. So Kong surreptitiously cut the estimate from 50 minutes to 45 minutes on this game. I was like, oh, okay. So I can't screw up too bad. So let us recap very quickly before we move on. We had the Scythe in Stage 1 and in Stage 2. Then we had the whatchamacallit for a while, the Javelin. So it wasn't until like Stage 3, I think, that we actually finally got the dagger. And once we did all right work. We took a hit on Stage 1, or 2-1, I should say, on Luke 2, Stage 1. We did a double jump into a clam, but overall, 41:26 is pretty solid. That's underestimate. I'm happy with that. It just goes to show that with this game, there's a lot that can go wrong, and you have to kind of keep your head about you to recover. It's very easy to have things snowball in this game, but if you know what you're dealing with, how to recover, you can kind of keep things rolling. So not the best run of all time, but it showed off a lot of different stuff that can happen in this game. So I hope you all enjoyed it. It was fun. It was fun as hell to deal with some of that junk. But yeah, that's it. That's Super GNG. Hope you all enjoyed it.
Great run. And now we got some stuff to give away, everyone.
All right, right on. So, I believe we have at least 2 Perlers, I imagine, one for each game, and then a t-shirt as well.
Oh, we're doing another t-shirt.
That's right. So, are we doing all the shirts with a Perler, or?
I believe so, yes.
All right, cool. So, let's give away the Contra Perler, and then we'll, like, whatever we got for GNG, let's do that with the shirt.
Yep. That's cool. Sounds good. Alright, do you want me to do the Sivo, or you already got it done?
You can do it if you want.
Okay.
I have it ready to. So.
Or we could just do both at the same time again. That'll work just fine. Let me get it up real quick. I'm so sorry. Okay.
Everybody, talk in chat.
All right.
Get your entry in for your Perler and or T-shirt. But first, we'll be giving out the Bill Perler for Contra 3 Alien Wars.
Also, so Arthur just took a dive and it kills the music. When you change your controls in this game, this end credit sequence is an input file, just like if it was a Taz. So it's like, press B to jump, press B to jump. Well, now my B button is attack. So Arthur gets to that part where he's trying to jump over the spike pit, and he's like, nope, can't do it, see you later. It just falls, and then it kills the music. It's great.
That is great. I love that. Alrighty, come on, people, get hyped for this Perler shirts. Great time. Also live in the U.S.
Also, the continental U.S.
So it's Big Bill F. Riser for the Contra Perler, and then Gold Armor Arthur. Now, I suggested that it would be Arthur Booty for the Perler, but I was over. That's the one you want. That's the classic view of Arthur. Arthur climbing up the ladder, showing that booty. Look at that booty. Give me that booty. I want the booty.
I want the booty.
I was gonna say it should have been naked Arthur, because that's what you see most of the time.
Right. More people identify with that than with gold armor. Are you kidding me? And thank you so much, everyone, for the GGs and the well wishes and the kind words. I really appreciate that.
Very entertaining run, as always.
I hope so. I had fun with it, even though it was a little silly.
Hey, sometimes a little silly is the best.
Yeah, exactly.
Run, especially in a marathon.
I'm just glad the time is what it was, considering how much stuff went wrong in that run. Like a 41:26 is still pretty legit, all things considered. So that's good. That's good.
It's a good time. Damn good time. Alright, come on, people. We need to get you in here for these hype as F Perlers. Let's go. There's so many, like, awesomely done Perlers, and you could win just by talking in chat right now. That was the only thing you need to do.
Oh, Mantos missed most of the scythe. Or no, he missed the scythe.
Yeah, he missed the first two stages of the scythe.
Mantos is good people. He's a regular. I think I owe my folks an all weapons run. I think we'll do that before too long, guys. So get hyped for that.
Whoop, whoop.
But get hyped first for these Perlers in this shirt. I want to see some excitement in chat.
Yeah.
Second ballot entry. Well, technically that's true.
I can sing. Yeah, I can talk. Fingers triggers that Simpson reference every time.
Speedy Mop wants a axe run.
Can't get axe till stage 2. That's the only problem. So you can't do a full axe run.
All right, I think it's time for us to give a roll. Enemy, could you give us a drum roll, please?
I can only do this for so long.
Oh, you can stop.
All right. I'm not angry, Lanks. All right.
All right. Do you want to do Contra? Or you want me to do Contra?
You can do Contra.
All right. Congratulations to one individual. I see quite a bit. You might just like this. I'll even use my emotes of Contra base. Congratulations to Steely. Getting big old Bill Riser Perler.
I have to re-roll again. It came up with Kavik.
It came up with
Well, we do have a horse on screen right now, so I guess that makes sense.
Oh, hey, there we go. Kavik moonlighting in the
Derpy the horse here, which will henceforth be known as Kavik. Not that Kavik's derpy, that's just what we always called this horse, was Derpy the horse.
I mean, look at the way he's walking. Of course he's derpy.
4 frames of animation, baby. Come on, what more do you need?
I want a shirt.
We'll get you a shirt, dude. We got shirts. Relax. We'll get all the new staff shirts. It's cool, man.
You could just give me like 3 shirts and I'll.
I have 2 shirts, Kavik. What do you think about that? Meh.
Ooh.
Damn.
Yeah. Hey, like them apples. Probably pretty well because you're a horse.
Boy. Yeah. Good lord. Alright, did you roll again? You didn't have to cancel, you could just roll again.
Oh.
Did you cancel?
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can roll again if you want me to.
You might have to, because it came up as Yogi. It's picking all the mods. Oh. Alright.
Oh, did you finally get one?
No. They're not here.
They're not here.
No. Just roll one.
Oh. Then roll again. Who's hyped to win a shirt in chat right now? Who's hyped for the shirt of a century?
Yeah, see, me and Maction. That's right.
2 different years. I think I have the first shirt that we ever made at RGL.
It's a
I don't
dead shirt.
remember where
Can't
it's
wear it
at.
anymore. It's the wrong
Well,
name.
no, it's a rag, but. All right. My first shirt. All right. The winner is. Oh my God! The winner is. Mad Milkman. Congratulations, Mad Milkman. You got yourself gorgeous SG&G Perler and RGL shirt to show off and tell the world how great we are. And a comfy shirt. Congratulations, Mad Milkman. You are the winner. The end, question mark. After going through this game twice, they're gonna leave you on a cliffhanger of the end. What a dick move.
Well, it's not the end. They did another game after this one. They did Ultimate Ghosts and Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins, I think is what it's called. Not Ultimate Ghouls and Ghosts.
Mhm.
And then they did a revised version. So Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins is like this weird action RPG thing, which, God bless them, they tried something, but it's a much different game, which is fine, but then they did a revised version which scales it back and makes it more of an action-oriented game like these. So it's a little bit more conducive to speedrunning. But it's a pretty cool game. They give you basically all of the powers, and like you can double jump, you can shoot upwards, you can fly at certain points. So it's a pretty awesome game. But it's PSP only, or PSTV if you have that. But you need the Japanese version of it. So yeah, you got to go through some hoops to get it.
Right.
But it wasn't the end. It was accurate to have a question mark.
I guess so.
Or it could have said not the end, I guess, and been more declarative. But
It's just not the end. That's all it says.
See you next mission. That's what it should have said. Oh, the old
Could be
Metroid
like,
strats.
Could be like Capcom's G.I. Joe and says, to be continued, and then it never got continued.
Aww.
And that's just sad.
That's like when you beat Axley on Very Hard. It says, see you in Axley 2. Nope. Still waiting. Yeah. Any day now, Konami's going to put out Axley 2. I'm just waiting for it.
I mean, hey, maybe. I mean, would you really want a game from them these days?
I would take Axley 2. Yeah.
I'd like to,
like, just farm it to treasure. Let them do it.
that would be a good idea.
I'm saying.
Treasure knows what they're doing. They make them hard as shit, but they know what they're doing.
Alrighty. Looks like we have Kong ready to do some Earthbound.
Yay!